Hi, I'm Alan, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how smart devices help us in our greenhouse operations. Here we have our cucumber table growing in Dutch buckets. And on this table we have about 131 buckets with about 4 plants each. So it's about a little bit more than 500 plants. The plant load is probably a little too dense, but we wanted to see the effects for ourselves and monitor the strongest plants and the resulting yield. Our Dutch bucket table is fed by a 200-liter drum with a submersible pump. The pump feeds the topside poly pipe with flag dripper motors. As the water flows down the bucket, it exits via the siphon elbow inside the bucket and returns back to the reservoir via the collection channel, down the drain line, back to the reservoir. Using smart devices really helps us automate the basic functions of grow operations. In our case, we have the irrigation schedule completely automated on timers, turning on for 15 minutes, 3 times a day. When the plants were little seedlings, they needed very little irrigation, so we ran the timers for 5 minutes every interval. But since the plants have matured in the vegetative stage and are currently setting fruit, they obviously need more water, so we changed the timers to 15 minutes per interval. First, we have an irrigation controller by Rainbird that's set to refill our nutrient reservoir on a weekly basis. We monitor and forecast the daily consumption of water by the plants, factoring in plant evapotranspiration and ambient temperature and humidity levels. The controller has a Wi-Fi module over there that connects the controller to the cloud. That makes it possible for us to access the controller from our smartphones anywhere around the world as long as there's an internet connection. In our greenhouse we have 3 zones set up, and the controller activates the electric solenoid valves for a specific amount of time to feed fresh water into the drums. There's an example of one of our solenoid valves, and this controls zone 1. The pump for the nutrient solution is controlled by a really cool device called the Smart Socket Switch. These are basically electrical socket plugs with a built-in receiver and controller. There are many different types available on Amazon or Lazada in different price ranges, but the most important thing to consider is the app. It must be very user-friendly and it must tick all the boxes in terms of functionality. Our smart socket switches are from Tantan. It's a great user interface on the app, and it's both compatible with Android and iOS, and it works both with Alexa and Google Home for voice-operated features. The app is very user-friendly. We can set countdown times at different times per day. All the plugs are customizable for easy identification. They can be grouped together for operation under a single command. All it needs is a Wi-Fi connection, and you'll be able to control the socket plugs from anywhere around the world as long as there's internet connection. I have 6 smart plugs set up for each table corresponding to what crops we're growing. I click on 2B cucumber and it gives me a big round button to turn it on or off. If I wanted to turn it on, I'll click the button and I can leave it on until I click it again to turn it off. But I might forget to turn it off, so I can set a countdown timer for a set amount of minutes or hours. In our cucumber table, we have a predefined timer accessible through the schedule button. You can set your on and off times and duration of the irrigation schedule through this screen, as well as defining the days of the week you want it to operate. So automating our greenhouse operations using simple smart devices takes all the worries away and avoids human errors. We won't forget to irrigate the cucumbers or even forget to refill the drums with fresh water. Also important is that the technology allows us to free up our time to focus on other things, such as taking measurements, analyzing data, which is important to make adjustments to our grow formula. Modern day vegetable farming should not be about hard work. It should be more about brain work, leveraged by the use of technology that makes our life easier and our vegetables healthier.